Hi, welcome to Vlogmas Day 5. I can't believe we're already here. So yesterday I finished my bachelor's degree in nursing. I'm so glad to be done. I slept in this morning, I'm wearing comfy clothes, and I don't plan on going anywhere. But let's get into what we're gonna be doing today. So all of our tablescapes, so all the decorations on the different tables and surfaces is what I really wanna tackle. But we need to do the advent calendars, and I'm gonna be kind of rearranging the rooms because I think it'll work out a little bit better. And then we'll go from there. I'm also going to tackle our nativity in the China hutch. So let's go ahead and get started on our advent calendars, and thank you for coming to today's video. All right, as you know, we start with the cow advent calendar and then do the jigsaw puzzles. But I was asked clarification in real life on exactly what it makes. So it is individual puzzles, individual scenes that then turn into basically their own Christmas village that you can kind of move around and set up kind of how you want. On the back, I'll show an up close of this, but it talks about how you can do that. So the puzzles themselves don't interlock with each other. Each day is separate in its own puzzle, but if you were to glue those, you could then kind of move them around and switch up the village scene, if you will. I will be putting this together, all of these together on the last day on my big puzzle board so you can see it all together and kind of how that works. But for now, let's go ahead and open up our Highland cow and keep this going. So we are to day 5, like I said. Oh, this one's cute too. So he's in a purple Santa hat, and he's got a little collar on and stuff like that. The only downside is that the hook to hook him to the tree, the hole that we put the thread through, is cut off, so there's no real hole. Thankfully, with the design of this one, there's a second hole, but it's not what it's intended for. So that would be a downside to this one. Today's is a movie theater, with the 2 films being Finding Santa Claus and Dance of the Gingerbread Men. There's 3 pieces together today.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mist.
This one wasn't too bad, especially with all the words. It made it a lot easier. But let's show you that, and then we'll get started on rearranging these rooms and getting all the surfaces Christmas ready.
I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do,
So I stationed myself over here. My plan is to take this table and put it over there and put that table over here. That's actually how my mother-in-law had it when she was still here. And so we're gonna kind of play it up just a little bit for the cozy feeling, especially over near the trees, and making sure there's plenty of room to kind of move around and not bump into the trees or things like that. So let's keep going and we will get these rooms switched. Before we get going on that, I wanted to show you a couple things that I made the other night in another one of those crafting classes with Sugar Plum Creations and The Gathering Place. So this is a mug candle, and it's scented like peppermint hot chocolate. It smells delicious. And these little marshmallows are little wax melts that smell like marshmallow. Yum. And then I made a car freshie, so it's basically an air freshener that hangs in your car. So it hangs just like that. And this smells like a certain name brand's wax melt that smells like a certain cheesecake that's pretty popular. but this one smells better and lasts longer. So again, support your small businesses. They really appreciate it. They're real people. You know who you're buying from. Take that time this holiday season and support another person. I put you at this angle because I'm going to move this table, which is kind of my staging area right now, but it won't look like that a little bit later. But we're gonna move this table first out of the way so that we can move the bigger table into place and then kind of finish shifting things around. So let's do that now. While I have that table moved, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum under that just because it makes it easier. So while it's out of the way, let's take care of it, right? The first thing that we are going to move into place is the bench that goes under this clock. It's over here. We haven't been using it with the table because we didn't need it, but in this narrow of a space, we have to have it just so there's plenty of seating, things like that, and it's easier to keep tucked against the wall and still use the bench and slide on and off. So let's do that next. Yeah, spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you so. You really forget how heavy that bench is until you go to move it. Tommy's uncle made that for his mom, and it is solid wood. And we are able to store stuff in that bench, which is great. So all the dog things that we need or cat things that we need end up in this bench. Bags of treats, you name it, it's all in there, which is great because it's one location to have to figure out where something is. So now let's move the big table in front of this bench. And now that this one's out of the way over in here, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum before I just start placing furniture and getting all that set up. I'm already liking it better. It's making this flow a little bit easier. So let's keep going and see how it turns out. Singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you, baby. This year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to? All right, so I got some things rearranged. The fireplace is a little bit off center until I get it to where there's a plug available, so we're working on that. But I did move the curio cabinet kind of in the corner on an angle so that when you come into the room, you see all those different pieces and it draws more attention to it. It doesn't feel like an afterthought, which I like so much better already. So now we're gonna move the new table into this room and wrap that up so that we can get started decorating. I can't wait until you guys see the finished product because it's already so much bigger in here. Just lays out just a little bit differently, feels a little bit better for the season. Just a little bit of backstory on this table, not the chair, just the table. My husband's great aunt used to own this home. She's one of the many generations that have lived here. Like I said, Tommy is 4th generation. Our niece Kaylin is 5th to live here. But that was her table. So when we got married about 15 years ago, we were gifted that table and it's made several moves with us, and I love that it's back in this home. Same thing with the chandelier that used to be over it in the other room. I got this chandelier on Amazon and it's just a plug and go chandelier because we were finding it to be too dark when we're trying to do puzzles or different things like that. I had a table right here and it just happens to be perfectly placed for this table for this season. So that's just a little bit of a background on that table and why we love it so much. But let's go ahead and get these surfaces cleared off and start decorating them and see where we get. So the first one I'm gonna start with is the China hutch and putting our nativity scene. I'm also going to be moving the stockings to a different room, and that'll be in tomorrow's video. You'll see them disappear today, but I'm not gonna show you where they're at until tomorrow, so you'll have to tune back in. But I want to get all this cleared out that we need to, so that the nativity and the Santa Clauses can go back into this China hutch. My goal is to only have to clear off these bottom two shelves. This is our wedding china, and I really like seeing it. It's got little silver hearts on it, and it just fits the season, and there's other sentimental pieces in there. So I'm going to leave kind of those alone for right now, unless I have to move them. First thing we're gonna do is put up the nativity, and then we'll add the Santa Clauses. I know I've talked about the Santa Clauses before, but I wanted to highlight that again. They were Tommy's dad's mom's Santa Clauses, and she got them from a local department store that no longer exists. And I think they're really sweet. So they're all really detailed. We have about, I think, 15 of them. And that was something that she gave to him, and I thought it was really special. And we've kept them tucked away because we didn't want them to break, so we try to keep them safe because they can't be replaced. So we keep them in the China hutch. They're right up there with the Mr. and Mrs. Claus down underneath the Christmas tree. My mother-in-law's best friend painted those for her, and after she had passed away, we found that out, and it just makes their value so much more for us. And so keep those little things. You never know who in the family might want them or cherish them just like you do. But let's go ahead and get these Santas put in the thing and keep moving. All right, we've got all the Santas put in there. I want to take a second to highlight another small business. So there was another class at the Gathering Place. We made Christmas shirts. My day one Vlogmas video, I'm wearing that shirt. So if you haven't seen it, go back and watch. And it says, "Oh Holy Night" on it. It's beautiful. But they taught us how to make that. Another thing we made were these sublimation signs. I laugh because this one says Christmas calories don't count. So I'm gonna put it back in this China hutch, and again, go check out these different small businesses. Go find small businesses within your community. It helps your own economy. Support each other. Let's move on to decorating. More than likely, I think Aunt Jemima's table is what we call it. So Aunt Jemima's table, just right here, and we'll go from there and move on into the next room. So first things first, we've got to clear off the table. It's been my staging area to prep for Christmas decorating. So I've got to clean that off so that I have a clear surface to work with. So let's do that, and I'm gonna roll right into decorating the table. All right, that table's done. We're gonna move over to the fireplace, but the candle that I lit is another small business. There's a YouTuber, her channel name is XO McKenna, and she started a candle brand called Odd and Lure. They're by far the best candles that I have ever purchased. They're very minimalistic and simplistic in design. It lacks a lot of labels other than on the very bottom. You can reuse the containers. They're heavy. They burn for like 40 some hours. They're a little bit pricey at $52, but even the mail lady says that they're the best smelling thing ever. When she makes a delivery, her whole truck smells like these candles. And then there's thought, and her mom creates artwork for each one. She has some new ones out for the season. She's got holly, which smells really fruity and fresh, like a cold crisp day. And then she has a noix, which smells kind of like the candied nuts in the mall smells during this season. It smells delicious. And then she brought back Noel from last year, which has some pine and some nuttiness, and it just, oh, they all smell so good. I like to pair them together different times, burn them throughout the house, and everybody has nothing but compliments to say. So I will link them below. Another option for small business support. If you buy multiple, you get a discount. So do with that what you will. But on to the fireplace. Now that that is done, I chose to go with basically non-breakables on the fireplace because our cat loves to be in the window, and if it falls off, I don't want it to just instantly break. So we did that. Now we're gonna move to what we call the Walton table, our big table in the other dining room, and we'll go from there. One last surface to decorate, and that's the island. I like to keep things very mobile for the island so that it's easy to remove everything pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and clean this off, and then we'll get to decorating. Really quick before I do that, I do have garland that goes up here. You saw me trying to put it up, but when we changed the trim around that window, we took out the nails. I'm going to need a different set of nails, so I'm going to have Tommy help me with that when he gets home. So you'll see that in tomorrow's video. But other than that, this is pretty much what we've got. Now let's decorate this island and get it ready for the holiday season. And that is all I have for Vlogmas Day 5. I hope to see you tomorrow. We're going to decorate a new room in our house that we've never decorated before. So I'm excited to share that with you. And then I will get that garland fixed and other things like that. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now, friend.